Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss the remaining part of our chapter biomolecules, and the topic for today is allosteric enzymes. What do we understand by allosteric enzyme? See, up to here we have talked about enzymes. So we said that these enzymes, they are having active sites, and these active sites are going to be very specific for the substrate, and binding of substrate with the enzyme occurs at this particular active site that we have understood earlier. Now there are some of the enzymes which are having active site and other than active site. Some other sites are also present which are responsible for the binding of different substances which are not actually the substrate, but these are known as modulators. So allosteric enzymes are having a different binding site. For certain chemicals, and these chemicals are going to act as modulators. Now what do we understand by modulators? Modulators simply means that they are going to bind at this different site and they are responsible for change in the structure of active site. बाइंड एक डिफरेंट साइट पर करते हैं, बट इनकी बाइंडिंग की वजह से एक्टिव साइट चेंज होती है. सो टू कंडीशंस आर देयर, आइदर दे आर गोइंग टू फैसिलिटेट द एक्टिव साइट टू एनहेंस इट्स बाइंडिंग विद सबस्ट्रेट, या तो एक्टिव साइट की बाइंडिंग सबस्ट्रेट के साथ इंक्रीज हो जाएगी बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंज इन द स्ट्रक्चर, और द सेकेंड कंडीशन इज दैट दिस एक्टिव साइट इज नो मोर going to bind with the substrate. So two things are going to happen. That simply means we are having two different type of modulators, and what these two different type of modulators are, they can be inhibitors or they can be activators. As the name is suggesting, the activators are facilitating the binding of substrate with the active site. So whenever a activator is going to bind this site can be known as a allosteric site. So one is active site and the second one is allosteric site. So at allosteric site the modulator is going to bind. So whenever the modulator is a activator and it binds on the allosteric site, that is leading to the change in the active site, so that now it is having more capacity to bind with the substrate. That's why they are known as activators. Inhibitors simply means they are inhibiting the binding of substrate at the active site, means they are responsible for such structural changes in the active site that now this active site is no more going to bind with the substrate. So no reaction is going to take place. Here product formation is going to be enhanced. More the active site is going to bind with the substrate, more chances of product formation is there, and here no product will be formed because these inhibitors are not allowing this substrate to bind with the active site. So how we can show this? We can simply say inhibitor is there, this is a allosteric enzyme. ये एक allosteric enzyme है. This is the site where a activator is going to bind, activator binding site, a inhibitor binding site is there, and a active site is there. So if a activator is present, it is going to bind here. Because of this binding, say there is a activator which is going to bind at this site. So this activator is modulating, or it is simply changing it, this active site, and making it this site more showing binding more capacity with the substrate. If a inhibitor is going to bind over here, then again it is leading to a structural change in the active site, but because of this, now this active site is no more able to bind with the substrate. So this is how the allosteric enzymes are going to be present. So for different enzymes, different inhibitors and activators are going to be present. Say if we take example of phosphofructokinase, then ADP is going to act as a activator and ATP is going to act as a inhibitor, and lots of examples are present over there. Now next topic is inhibition of enzyme action. That means we are specifically talking about the inhibitors, how these inhibitors are responsible for the inhibition of enzyme action. Enzyme activity that can be inhibited because of any of the physical change, or you can say chemical change, means inhibitors are going to be present, and this is responsible for the inhibition of enzymatic activities. Now enzyme inhibition can be of two types. It can be reversible or non-reversible. And competitive and non-competitive. So let's understand these terms. What do we understand by the reversible or non-reversible enzyme inhibition, and competitive or non-competitive enzyme inhibition? Firstly, let's understand reversible or non-reversible or simply irreversible. See, reversible means the situation can be reversed. वापस से सिचुएशन को पहले वाली ओरिजिनल सिचुएशन में it is possible to take the situation. Simple meaning is whenever an inhibitor is present, that inhibitor is going to inhibit the activity of enzyme. So अगर हम inhibitor को remove कर देते हैं, if inhibitor is going to be removed, then again the enzyme is going to able to bind with the substrate, and again the reaction is going to be happening. That is reversible. A reverse situation can be there. So this inhibitor is simply temporary blocking the active site of enzyme, and whenever it will be removed, again the enzyme will start functioning. That is simple reversible inhibition. Irreversible inhibition means that because of the presence of inhibitor or any of the adverse condition, when a protein becomes non-functional and when the situation is again going to be normal, again that enzyme is not functioning properly. तो अगर एक बार हम इनहिबिटर या एडवर्स कंडीशंस में किसी भी एंजाइम को रखते हैं, उसका फंक्शन लॉस हो जाता है, एंड दैट फंक्शन इज परमानेंटली लॉस्ट. That simply means again that enzyme is not coming to in its functional form. That is the meaning of irreversible inhibition. Simple example is denaturation. Say because of high temperature, denaturation is going to occur, and this denaturation is going to be a irreversible inhibition. Again they are not coming in their original form. So reversible or irreversible inhibition is there. The second is competitive and non-competitive inhibition. As the name is suggesting, competition. Now किनके बीच में competition होता है? The competition is going to occur between substrate and inhibitor. For what? For binding with the active site. एक्टिव साइट पर बाइंड करने के लिए दे आर गोइंग टू compete with each other. That means We know substrate is going to show structural similarity with the active site. That simply means the inhibitor is also going to show structural similarity with the active site, only that it is going to be able to bind with the enzyme. That simply means that substrate and inhibitors, they are going to be structurally similar with each other. Only then they are going to compete with the binding with the एक्टिव साइट. दोनों ही स्ट्रक्चरल सिमिलैरिटी शो करते हैं एक्टिव साइट के साथ, दैट मीन्स एक दूसरे के साथ भी स्ट्रक्चरल सिमिलैरिटी शो करते हैं, एंड दे compete with each other to bind with the active site. Now ज़्यादा बाइंडिंग किसकी होगी, that simply depends upon concentration. If in a solution the concentration of substrate is going to be more, तो सबस्ट्रेट के एंजाइम के साथ बाइंड करने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं, सो मोर एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स इज गोइंग टू फॉर्म. अगर इनहिबिटर की कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा है तो एंजाइम इनहिबिटर कॉम्प्लेक्स इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर्म्ड. तो जब भी एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स बनेगा, दैट इज रिजल्टिंग इनटू प्रोडक्ट फॉर्मेशन, बट एंजाइम इज नॉट हैविंग द कैपेसिटी टू convert this inhibitor into product. So here no product formation is going to be there. So it is simply depending upon the concentration of substrate or inhibitor. If substrate is going to be more, chances of product formation is there, but maximum product formation नहीं होगा, because कुछ enzymes के साथ किसने bind किया है, inhibitors ने bind किया है. So those enzymes are not going to be involved in formation of product. Only those are involved with which substrate is going to bind. So they are competing with each other. We can see it with the help of a diagram also. Say this is our enzyme and our substrate is there and our inhibitor is there. And this is the active site. So this active site, as we can see, this active site is going to show स्ट्रक्चरल सिमिलरिटी सबस्ट्रेट के साथ भी प्रेजेंट है और इनहिबिटर के साथ भी प्रेजेंट है. दैट सिंपली मीन्स सबस्ट्रेट कैन ऑल्सो बाइंड ओवर हेयर एंड एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर्म्ड. दिस एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स विल बी converted into enzyme product complex, and finally enzyme and product are going to be separated from each other. This is one possibility if substrate is binding. The second is if inhibitor is going to bind over here, then enzyme inhibitor complex is going to form here and no product formation is there. Reaction is not going to move further. So simply that is depending upon the concentration. So here the substrate and inhibitor, they are going to compete with each other for the binding of this active site. That is known as competitive inhibition. And the inhibitors which are going to show structural similarity with the substrate, जो inhibitors substrate के साथ structural similarity show करते हैं, such type of inhibitors are known as substrate analog. They are known as substrate analog. We can say a simple example. See, succinate is there and this succinate is converted into fumarate with the help of an enzyme. Succinate dehydrogenase. Now for this succinate dehydrogenase, a inhibitor is present, that is malonate. So whenever this malonate is going to be present, it is going to compete with the succinate and it will bind with succinate dehydrogenase and no more the product is going to be formed. So that is showing a, you can say, competitive inhibition. Now from one thing it is clear that this enzyme is going to, means this whole enzyme substrate is going to show a lock and key model, because that is going to fit in the active site of the enzyme, and enzyme is having the ability to convert the substrate into the product, but the ability to convert a inhibitor into the product is not going to be available with the enzyme, and there are lots of other examples also. So that was competitive inhibition. Now next we are going to move on to non-competitive inhibition. Non-competitive, the word is suggesting no competition is going to be occurring between the inhibitor and the substrate. That simply means that inhibitor is going to bind with the enzyme, but not at the site where the substrate is going to bind. So here the inhibitor is not going to show structural similarity with substrate, structurally similar with substrate. Then how it is going to affect the enzyme activity? It is simply going to bind with any of the functional group of the enzyme that is important for catalytic activity. So the binding is with the functional group that is important for catalytic activity. So if inhibitor is going to bind with this functional group is no more able to perform the process of catalysis. That means simply the enzyme is not able to convert a substrate into product. This is how this non-competitive inhibition is going to occur, and this is a irreversible inhibition. For example, cyanide is there. Cyanide is affecting the functioning of cytochrome oxidase. But this cyanide is not showing structural similarity with the substrate of cytochrome oxidase. The substrate is cytochrome C. So cyanide is not going to be structural with cytochrome C, but it is going to bind with the functional group of cytochrome oxidase, and now it is not going to be able to act on this cytochrome C, and respiration is not going to occur, that is leading to the death of the individual. So this is how non-competitive inhibition is going to occur. The next one is allosteric inhibition or feedback inhibition. We can say allosteric modulation or feedback inhibition. Few minutes before we talked about allosteric enzymes. These are the enzymes which are having additional site, allosteric site, at which the modulators are going to bind. So simply if a inhibitor is going to bind at allosteric site, whenever an inhibitor is binding at allosteric site of the enzyme, this binding is resulting into a conformational change in enzyme's active site. There will be a conformational change in active site of enzyme, and because of this conformational change, this active site is not going to bind with substrate, and if substrate is not able to bind at the active site, that simply means no product is going to be formed. So this is how allosteric inhibition is taking place. Feedback inhibition simply means a feedback mechanism is taking place. Feedback mechanism simply means whenever a enzyme, or you can say a protein, is synthesized in more concentration, then that is responsible for its inhibition of its own synthesis. कोई भी इंजाइम या प्रोटीन जब ज़्यादा अमाउंट में सिक्रीट होना स्टार्ट होता है, व्हेन इट इज़ गोइंग टू अचीव इट्स मैक्सिमम कंसंट्रेशन, देन दैट इज़ गोइंग टू इनहिबिट्स इट्स ओन सिंथेसिस और सिक्रीशन, दैट इज़ feedback inhibition. So this feedback inhibition is occurring by binding with the allosteric site and stopping the process of inhibition. We can simply understand it by taking the example of E. coli. In E. coli, isoleucine is acting as a inhibitor for an enzyme. We can see with the help of a example, we are going to draw that particular pathway. I have drawn a pathway that is basically occurring in a bacteria E. coli, and the pathway is simply formation of isoleucine. We know isoleucine is a amino acid. So isoleucine is formed by first, second, third, fourth, fifth step, means 5 steps are there involved in the formation of isoleucine, and at each step there are different enzymes which are going to be involved. इन 5 steps में हर एक step पे different enzymes involved हैं. We don't need to remember this pathway, we just need to focus on this isoleucine. जब इस pathway से isoleucine बनता है and this isoleucine is going to reach at its threshold value, maximum value, now no more isoleucine is being required, then this isoleucine is going to act as an inhibitor, and it is inhibiting the activity of enzyme threonine deaminase, and because of inhibition of this particular enzyme, now no more isoleucine is going to be formed. That is the example of feedback inhibition, in which one particular molecule is basically inhibiting its own secretion because its value is, or you can say its amount is almost maximum. So this is feedback inhibition. Now these inhibitors are important. We were talking about inhibition. Inhibitions are important, inhibitors, because with the help of inhibitors we can understand the metabolic activities, enzymes, action of enzyme, mechanism of action of different enzymes, the action of drugs. So these inhibitors are helping in lots of studies. So that's all about our chapter biomolecules, and in next class we are going to start with our next chapter.